What if everything you thought you knew about raising good children was backwards? What if the loving approach actually puts their souls at risk?
The Miracles and Prophecies of Saint John Bosco, a project of America Needs Fatima. I'm your host, Adrian Fonseca. Subscribe for new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Welcome to the Miracles and Prophecies of Saint John Bosco. I'm Adrian Fonseca. These videos exist to share timeless wisdom from Saint John Bosco that can transform your spiritual life today. Today we're going to discuss how to prepare souls for eternity. It's not only about parenting, but about anyone who influences young souls, be it teachers, coaches, godparents, mentors, or even youth ministers. If you've ever wondered whether you're doing enough to guide the next generation towards heaven, this story will challenge you on how you think about love, discipline, and what really matters. And later in this video, I'll tell you about something that can help you on this mission. Crusade Magazine, a bi-monthly resource that brings wisdom just like Saint John Bosco's to your mailbox. But more on that later. Let me ask you something. When a child breaks a dish, what matters more? The dish or the child's character? When they lie about their homework, what's the real problem? The incomplete assignment or their relationship with truth? Most parents today lose their minds over broken objects, but they shrug when their kids develop a broken soul. Mama Margaret saw things differently. In a small house in the hills of Piedmont, Italy, this widowed mother raised 3 sons with almost nothing. No money, no social status, not even parenting books. But what she did have was a crystal clear vision of her son's ultimate destiny. It wasn't success. It wasn't comfort. It wasn't even earthly happiness. It was heaven. And everything she did flowed from that single priority. Unlike the loud, reactive parenting that we see today, Mama Margaret's voice was calm and firm. When her son John needed correction, she used reason instead of anger. Why? Because as Proverbs says, he who accepts reproof becomes wiser. So she understood that love, discipline, and self-control are what keep our lamps burning as we wait for the bridegroom. Mama Margaret never threw tantrums over stained clothes or broken furniture. She saved her energy for what actually mattered: obedience, honesty, and reverence for God. Think about that. How often do we explode over spilled milk but say nothing when we hear our children lie? And how often do we panic about grades but ignore it when they're cruel to their siblings? We've reversed the priorities. We celebrate the material and neglect the eternal. Mama Margaret didn't make that mistake. She prepared her children for hardship, for mission, and salvation, not for an easy life. And here's something you might find a little bit odd about Mama Margaret. She never displayed overly sentimental affection, and she never praised her children for simply doing their expected duties. Now that might sound harsh to modern ears, doesn't it? Yet she knew that she had to do what was in her power to make her children good. Listen to this example. When John returned home from seminary, where he'd been sleeping on a soft mattress, Mama Margaret gave him straw to sleep on. Now, this is not out of cruelty or out of forgetfulness. It was out of foresight. Quote, "You don't know what might be asked of you in the future," she said. "So get used to a little deprivation." How prophetic. Years later, Don Bosco would walk through cities and fields, enduring cold, hunger, and hostility, all for the sake of the abandoned boys' souls. And if his mother had coddled him, he never would have survived his mission. Here are some more practical examples of what Mama Margaret did to help her family. And I'm not saying you have to copy her actions, but perhaps be inspired by these examples. The Bosco family took long walks in harsh weather. They had early mornings every morning, many nights of vigil, and dry bread for breakfast. All of this shaped the discipline of a saint. Do we teach the young people in our lives to endure discomfort for the sake of virtue? Do we give them the strength to resist sin? Or do we coddle them with comforts and then panic when they can't handle life? Many young people today can't handle the smallest criticism, the slightest inconvenience, the briefest moment of boredom. Why? Because we've trained them for ease, not for eternity. And whether you're a parent, a teacher, a godparent, a coach, or even a mentor, here's what Mama Margaret's example teaches us. Stop trying to make their lives easy. Instead, start making their souls strong. That means let them experience discomfort if it builds virtue. Don't rescue them from every struggle. Let them learn to overcome. Teach them that sacrifice is an act of love, not a punishment. Show them by your example what it means to live for eternity. The world will call you harsh. It will call you unloving. It will tell you that you're damaging them. But ask yourself, which is more loving? To give them comfort now and risk their eternal souls forever? Or to train them for battle, knowing that one day they'll thank you for making them strong? Mama Margaret chose the second path, and because of that, the world received Saint John Bosco. As I've been reflecting on Mama Margaret's wisdom, I'm constantly reminded of why we do what we do here. This is practical wisdom that can transform how you live right now. And that's exactly why we created Crusade Magazine. Crusade Magazine delivers stories like these, plus apologetics, current events from a Catholic perspective, and inspiration for living your faith boldly in today's world. And we deliver it right to your mailbox. It's not just another Catholic publication, it's a tool for spiritual warfare. It's ammunition for raising the next generation of saints in a world that wants to raise consumers. When you become a monthly promoter of Saint John Bosco, Crusade Magazine is just one of the gifts that you'll receive. And I want to thank some very special people who support this mission already and are receiving Crusade Magazine. Deborah G., Alfred D., Thomas M., and Katie P. You understand that spreading this message matters. And if you want to be thanked in a future video, sign up as a monthly promoter today. The link is in the description box down below. Join us, and let's raise the next generation of saints together. The most loving thing you can do for someone isn't making their life easier, it's making their soul stronger. Mama Margaret understood this. Today we tend to prioritize feelings over faith and temporary pleasures over eternal joy. Have the courage to parent differently. Mama Margaret focused on the eternal values rather than seeking earthly comforts. She taught her children to use time wisely since every moment is a gift from God. Now it's your turn. Start today. Pray the rosary daily. Make small sacrifices throughout your day and teach those in your care, whether children, students, or friends, that heaven is worth every earthly struggle. Remember Mama Margaret's words. Our life is so short. We have little time to do good. And what's one small way that you could start training yourself or someone you love for heaven this week instead of comfort? Maybe it's waking up earlier to pray. Maybe it's having a hard conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's simply turning off the TV and reading something that will strengthen your soul. Whatever it is, share it in the comments down below. Let's encourage each other in this mission. And before you go, if you want to learn how young souls found their way to Don Bosco's care, click on the video appearing on your screen right now. It's called A Match Made in Heaven, and it tells the incredible story of how one boy's chance encounter with Don Bosco in a cafe changed his life forever. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for joining me today. Saint John Bosco, pray for us. May God bless you, and Mary Immaculate keep you under her mantle. God love you.